AITA for sending my ex-fiancée's edited selfie to her parents and canceling the wedding? I am 28. I operate tower cranes in Manhattan. It is a union job, local 14, paying $38 an hour plus significant overtime. You know, a real job where you show up at 6 in the morning to build tangible things. I have been moving steel for 6 years, mostly on skyscrapers in Midtown and the financial district. 2 years ago, I met Bella, 26, at a buddy's housewarming party in Queens. She was an energetic girl, a community manager who could turn a simple coffee order into viral content. We hit it off immediately. She was funny, beautiful, and had this energy that made you feel like you were living in a movie. The guys at work gave me a hard time for dating someone whose job was to play on the internet all day, but I shut that down quickly. My crew foreman, Sal, met her once and said, "That kid has more hustle than half the guys I supervise." Coming from Sal, that was practically a marriage blessing. That should have been the first red flag, but I was hooked. Maybe a little too naive, too. Anyway, that is in the past. We moved in together after 8 months, into a decent apartment in Astoria. We got engaged 6 months ago and started planning this October wedding like we were organizing a major military operation. $23,000 committed, venue booked upstate in the Hudson Valley, photographer hired, the whole experience. The photographer alone cost $2,800 because Bella needed someone who understood her aesthetic. She even talked me into a sparkler send-off because it would look so good on Instagram. My older sister Keisha, 31, tried to warn me. "Marcus, you are moving too fast. You barely know this girl. She treats real life like one giant photo shoot." But what did Keisha know? She had been married to a Brooklyn firefighter for 7 years and seemed genuinely happy. Clearly, she was missing something. Tyler, my best friend, was more laid back. "Bro, she makes you laugh and she is attractive. What more do you need?" Tyler worked construction with me, an excavator operator in the same union. His philosophy on relationships was simple: do not overthink it. Yeah, we were probably both a little naive. Bella worked for various fitness influencers, managing their social media, setting up brand partnerships, basically turning gym selfies into mortgage payments. Her biggest client was a yoga teacher with 50,000 followers who sold $89 personalized workout plans to bored suburban moms. The plans were all the same template with different names attached, but apparently, that counted as personalization. It paid well, and she seemed to love it. The first year was solid. We traveled, we laughed a lot, and the intimacy was great too. She would post about us maybe twice a week. I would get home from the job site around 4 in the afternoon. She would finish her work-from-home day around 6, and we would hang out like normal people. But around the 18-month mark, things started getting strange. She became obsessed with metrics, spending hours trying to figure out why one post got 200 likes while another only got 150. She would retake the same selfie 15 times, adjusting lighting and angles like she was documenting a historical event. "Babe, it is just Instagram," I would say. "Just Instagram? Marcus, this is my career, my personal brand." For someone who managed other people's accounts, this should have been the second red flag, but I am apparently a slow learner. She started buying ring lights and backdrops, turning our bedroom into a makeshift photo studio. I would come home to find her moving furniture to optimize the natural light and rehearsing facial expressions in the mirror. The bathroom counter looked like a cosmetics store exploded. The engagement started off fine, though. She posted exactly one picture of the ring with the caption, "I said yes to my best friend," and I thought that was pretty cool. The wedding planning was mostly her thing. I just showed up to taste cakes and nod at flower arrangements. But then Bella started stressing about the wedding content. She wanted a videographer, a social media coordinator, and kept talking about maximizing authentic moments. "What if we do not get enough good pictures?" she would worry. "Then we will just have to settle for actually enjoying our wedding," I would reply, which apparently made me a digital dinosaur. Then, 3 months before the wedding, everything went off the rails. Bella landed her biggest client yet, Chase Sterling. Chase Sterling was everything I was not. A fitness model, 200,000 followers, the kind of pretentious guy who called himself an entrepreneur while selling questionable supplements probably not approved by the FDA. Artificial tan and teeth, so white they could guide ships through fog. He was launching a fitness app called TransformX, and needed someone to manage his rapid expansion into a lifestyle brand. Bella was ecstatic. This was her big break, the client that would make her a serious player in influencer marketing. Marcus, this could change everything. Chase is projected to hit 500,000 followers by Christmas. If I help him get there, I can charge premium rates. That is great, babe. Just do not forget we have a wedding to plan. She waved me off like I was a fly. The wedding is practically planning itself at this point. Famous last words. Within a week, Chase monopolized her entire existence. She was working 12-hour days, constantly on calls, completely absorbed in his brand strategy. When I tried to talk about the wedding, she would get irritated. Can we talk about centerpieces later? Chase needs me to analyze his target demographics' engagement patterns. Tyler noticed the change right away. Dude, your girl is acting strange. She used to talk to people at parties. Now she just stares at her phone like it is going to reveal the meaning of life. Keisha was more direct. This guy is going to be a problem. I can sense the boundary violations from here. Keisha had this annoying habit of being right about people. The first time I met Chase was at a fitness expo in Manhattan that Bella dragged me to. He was exactly what I had imagined. 6'2", perfectly sculpted, with that professionally maintained fake tan. When Bella introduced us, he shook my hand with a weirdly firm grip, sizing me up like we were about to fight over the last protein bar. His hands were softer than my girlfriend's. So you are Marcus. Bella talks about you all the time. Construction, right? That is cool, man. I could never do manual labor all day. What an arrogant guy. He was already using nicknames. I actually operate tower cranes. It is precision work, and the union pays well. Yeah, totally, bro, different strokes. I am more about inspiration, you know? Not building something real. Inspiring people to transform their lives. The guy was checking his reflection in every mirrored surface as he spoke, adjusting his hair and clenching his jaw as if he were constantly posing for invisible cameras. He was incapable of holding a conversation without monitoring his angles. I wanted to remind him that I literally built the skyline he posed in front of for his social media traps, but Bella was giving me the don't you dare look. Chase checked his phone every 30 seconds, probably to monitor his engagement stats. The second he walked away, she went into damage control. He is really smart and incredibly driven. He built his whole platform from scratch by posting fitness pictures. It is called a content strategy. Not everyone can understand the complexities of personal branding. That night, she spent 3 hours editing photos from the expo. When I went to bed, she was still hunched over her laptop, color-correcting Chase's abs like she was working on a masterpiece. Over the next few weeks, Chase became the third person in our relationship. Every conversation eventually circled back to his latest genius marketing idea or his ambitious expansion plan. Chase thinks I should start my own agency. Chase says the future of fitness is in community-based platforms. Chase thinks this, Chase says that. I found myself fantasizing about launching Chase's convictions into another dimension. The late nights started a couple of weeks into their collaboration. I would get home from the site at 4 in the afternoon, and Bella would still be out, stuck in emergency strategy meetings and urgent brand opportunities, not getting home until 10 at night, looking completely drained. Why can't this wait until tomorrow? I get up at 5 for work. Marcus, you do not understand the influencer space. Timing is everything. If Chase does not post his workout content within 4 hours of filming it, the algorithm will bury it. The algorithm, of course, as if it were some mystical force. She started going to Chase's gym for research. This was not her usual Planet Fitness. Chase worked out at some high-end place in Tribeca called Equinox or something similar that cost $300 a month. I need to understand the authentic experience, Marcus. Chase's audience can tell when the content isn't genuine. 2 weeks before it all blew up, Bella's wardrobe changed. Suddenly, she was wearing sports bras to the grocery store and leggings that looked spray-painted on. New look. It is part of the job. Chase's audience responds better to a fitness-oriented aesthetic. You are not even in his content. Sometimes I am. Behind-the-scenes stuff. She was talking about grocery shopping like it was a marketing campaign. Tyler started calling her Bella 2.0 and asked if she came with a factory reset button. Keisha stopped asking about the wedding and started making jokes about divorce lawyers. When this blows up, she told me over coffee, do not let her take half your assets. Document everything. You are seriously overreacting. Because your fiancé is practically dating another guy for professional reasons, and you are acting like it is totally normal. I was not acting like it was normal. I was trying to be the supportive boyfriend who trusted his girlfriend's professional judgment, and part of me was trying to prove I was not the jealous type she kept calling me every time I pointed out the absurdity. Classic mistake. The Thursday before my world fell apart, Bella announced she would be working late with Chase on an urgent campaign launch. How late? Probably midnight, maybe later. This is make or break, Marcus. She kissed me on the cheek and left, grabbing an overnight bag just in case. At the time, I thought she was just being prepared. In reality, she was being incredibly transparent. Friday night, I was at Tyler's place in Sunnyside, watching the Yankees get crushed and having a few beverages. It was 6-2 in the 7th inning when my phone buzzed with an Instagram notification around 9 p.m. Bella tagged you in a story. I opened Instagram, expecting some boring work post. Instead, I got a front row seat to my own public humiliation. There was Bella, beaming, leaning into Chase at some fancy restaurant I probably could not afford. The kind of place that serves appetizers on slate tiles and charges $28 for 3 scallops. His arm was around her shoulders. They were both smiling like they had just won the lottery. The caption read, "Upgraded," and she had tagged me directly to make sure I saw it right away. Tyler looked at the screen and was silent for a good 10 seconds. Tell me this is some social media experiment gone wrong. I screenshotted the story because I knew I would need evidence for what came next. What are you going to do? My hands were shaking. I am not going to lie. Seeing your fiancé wrapped around another guy hits differently than you would think. Part of me wanted to drive to that restaurant and cause a scene, but the rational part of me knew that would just make me look like the crazy ex, and she would probably live stream the whole thing. My first instinct was to call her immediately, probably scream myself hoarse, but something clicked in my head. She had just publicly told me everything I already knew deep down. She had found someone better, an upgrade, and she wanted everyone to know. So, instead of calling her, I started making my own calls. Tyler, I need you to help me with something. Anything, man. This is brutal. I'm going to handle this the right way. Can you give me a ride to Home Depot? Home Depot? What? I need moving boxes. A lot of them. While Tyler went to get the boxes, I called my buddy David, who works in family law. David had helped me with my apartment purchase and knew his stuff cold. I sent him the screenshot and explained the situation. Man, that is practically a public announcement that your relationship is over. If you play this smart, you can probably mitigate your losses on the wedding deposits. What do you mean, play it smart? Document everything. Send that picture to every vendor. Most of them will consider this abandonment by the other party, which changes the cancellation terms completely. Plus, New York is pretty strict about fraud in wedding contracts. If one party publicly states the relationship is over, that is a breach. Next call, Bella's dad, Robert. We had always gotten along. He was a no-nonsense guy who had zero patience for social media nonsense. Robert, there is something you need to see that Bella posted today. I sent him the screenshot. Long silence. Son, who is this guy? Someone she works with. Based on the caption, our engagement is over. What do you mean? You are getting married in 3 months. Not anymore, Robert. Another pause. Let me call Bella and figure out what is going on. No need. The post is pretty clear. That night, I heard nothing from Bella. She did not come home, did not text, nothing. Apparently, she was too busy celebrating her upgrade to remember she had a fiancé waiting at home. Saturday morning, I woke up to a text from Bella. Slept at Jade's last night. Chase's campaign went super late, and I was too tired to drive. See you later today. Funny how she was still lying to my face. Tyler showed up at 10 in the morning with coffee and a grim look. You holding up? Better than expected. I have a plan. Tell me it involves making Chase disappear. Not yet. Today, we cancel a wedding. I spent Saturday dismantling 2 years of wedding planning, and it felt remarkably good. I called the venue first. Riverview Manor, Jessica speaking. Hi, this is Marcus Williams. I have a wedding scheduled for October 15th. Unfortunately, I need to discuss a cancellation. My fiancé posted something on social media yesterday that changes our situation. I sent her the screenshot. Oh my God. Let me take this to management, and I will call you back within the hour. Same conversation with every vendor, photographer, caterer, florist, band, even the sparkler company. I would explain the situation, send the screenshot, and ask about refund options. The florist was actually relieved. Apparently, Bella had been calling her twice a week to change her mind about the centerpieces like she was planning a state dinner. While I was reducing our wedding to ash, Bella was apparently having her own meltdown. Tyler was getting texts from mutual friends saying she was posting cryptic stories about haters and people who don't understand success. She had also started commenting on Chase's posts with things like couple goals and building empires together. Saturday evening, my phone exploded with messages from Bella's family. Her mom, Karen. Marcus, what is this picture? What is going on? Call me right now. We need to talk immediately. This is unacceptable behavior, and I demand an explanation. Her sister, Ashley. OMG Marcus, you better not be spreading lies about my sister. I ignored all of them. They could deal with their family drama without me. But Karen was not done. She started calling from different numbers and leaving increasingly hysterical voicemails. Marcus, I don't know what game you are playing, but it stops now. You will not humiliate this family with your jealous rumors. Call me back, or I am coming over. Meanwhile, Ashley had appointed herself Bella's social media defense attorney. She was posting on Facebook about how some men can't handle strong, ambitious women, and how her amazing sister is building an empire while small-minded people try to tear her down. She was tagging mutual friends in posts about toxic masculinity and supporting women in business. Bella was calling everyone, demanding they pick a side. Keisha got a call during dinner where Bella screamed that I was sabotaging her career and couldn't handle her success. Keisha called me, laughing her head off. Dude, your ex-fiancée has completely lost it. She called me a jealous witch because I refused to tell her where you were. What did you say? That you were probably busy dodging a bullet. Sunday morning, most of the vendors called back. Jessica from the venue led the charge. Given the evidence you have provided, we are classifying this as abandonment by the other party. We can refund 75% of your payments, which comes to $4,200. The photographer did one better. That Instagram post is messed up. We are refunding your entire deposit, plus the $500 for the engagement shoot. My wife said if I didn't after seeing that, she would divorce me too. The caterer refunded $3,500 of the $4,500. The florist returned everything but a $200 consultation fee. Even the DJ was cool. He had seen other couples break up over social media drama and knew the signs. All told, I got back about $16,100 of the $23,000 we had spent. A lot better than I had expected and cheaper than a divorce. But Bella was not done with her public meltdown. Sunday afternoon, she went on Instagram Live, crying and ranting about how some people don't know how to support women in business. The comments section was ruthless. People were calling her out for the upgraded post, asking where her fiancé was, and generally criticizing her. One highly liked comment read, "Supporting women in business doesn't mean supporting cheaters." Tyler screen recorded the whole thing. Bro, she is completely spiraling. She just spent 20 minutes explaining how posting about dating other men is normal professional networking. Sunday night, my phone rang with an unknown number. I answered. Marcus, we need to talk. It was Bella, but her voice was different. No need. Your post was pretty clear. You have no idea what you have done. Chase is furious. My family will not stop calling. And now the vendors are saying you canceled our wedding. Yeah, that is what happens when you publicly humiliate yourself. That post was business, Marcus. Business. But you are too stupid to understand marketing. I am not stupid enough to put up with your nonsense anymore. That hit a nerve. You are pathetic, you know that? You couldn't handle me succeeding, so you sabotaged everything like a child. I sabotaged your success by reading the post you tagged me in. You sent that screenshot to my parents. What kind of psychopath does that? The kind who gets publicly humiliated by his fiancée and wants answers. I don't owe you any explanation. We are done, Marcus. Done. And I am keeping the ring. I already had it appraised. That will be deducted from your half of the security deposit. You can't do that. Watch me. And thanks for leaving your iPad logged into your iCloud. Those messages with Chase about your couple marketing strategy are going to look great in court. She had not realized I had seen Chase coaching her on how to create authentic romantic tension for content and get the audience invested in the storyline. Apparently, Our relationship was just another campaign to them. You have no right to cancel the vendors without my permission. That is illegal. Watch me. Go ahead, call a lawyer. Good luck. She kept screaming about how I was ruining her life and destroying her reputation. Apparently, Chase was threatening to drop her because the drama was hurting his brand metrics. Chase says this makes us both look unprofessional. Maybe you should have thought about that before you pretended to date your client for content. It wasn't pretend. Then what on earth was it? Silence. Then, you are going to regret this, Marcus. You are going to regret this. I will make sure everyone knows what kind of person you really are. I can't wait to see it. I hung up and blocked that number, too. And this is where it gets interesting. David called me on Wednesday with some news that made my week. Marcus, I have been thinking about your situation. That Instagram post could constitute intentional infliction of emotional distress, especially given the public nature and the timing with the wedding. You think I have a case? Possibly. But more importantly, I think Chase might be in legal trouble. If he encouraged her to post relationship content for his brand's benefit, knowing she was engaged, that is tortious interference with a contractual relationship. What does that mean exactly? It means you could potentially sue Chase for the damages related to the wedding cancellation. I had been so focused on Bella that I had not considered Chase was pulling the strings behind the whole mess. David, let's explore that. Seriously, while I was building a legal case, Bella was apparently going into a nosedive. She had started a new Instagram account called Authentic Bella, where she posted daily tirades about toxic men and people who don't support female ambition. The account had like 43 followers, but she was posting multiple times a day like she was running a news network. Tyler showed me screenshots. One post read, "When you are building empires and small minds can't handle your vision. Level Up by Marcus." Another, "Some people would rather tear down queens than build themselves up. Me and Chase are thriving while haters cancel weddings." She was also showing up uninvited at Chase's gym, taking selfies, and posting them with captions like, "Power couple energy," and "When your business partner becomes your bestie." Chase looked super uncomfortable in every picture, like a hostage. But this is where Chase really screwed up. He kept posting content with Bella, gym stories, posts about their working relationship, even a few photos that were frankly too intimate for professional partners. Tyler did some digging and found Chase's business registration, his tax info, and discovered that Chase was promoting the upgraded post as a successful, viral marketing move on his professional channels. Dude, this moron is bragging to other influencers that he convinced his social media manager to pretend to date him to drive engagement. There is a whole thread about it on a marketing forum. The screenshots of Chase explaining his relationship marketing strategy to other influencers were pure gold. He was admitting in black and white that he encouraged Bella to post romantic content for his brand's benefit, knowing she was engaged. Meanwhile, Bella had started commenting on all my friends' social media. She left a novel-length comment under a gym selfie of Tyler's about how real friends don't enable toxic masculinity and how some people can't handle successful women. Tyler deleted the comment and blocked her, but she made another account and kept at it like some kind of digital stalker. We filed a lawsuit against Chase for $50,000 in damages, $23,000 in wedding deposits, $15,000 for emotional distress, $8,000 in lost wages from dealing with all this, and $4,000 in legal fees. Turns out, missing days as a crane operator to deal with legal proceedings is expensive. Union jobs don't mess around with attendance. I had already burned 3 personal days and had to take 2 unpaid. Chase's lawyer tried to settle immediately for $15,000. We countered with $40,000. He came back with $25,000. David told me to push. "This guy is panicking," David said. "His Instagram is restricted. The FTC is breathing down his neck about his supplements, and we have it all documented. He wants this to go away yesterday." David also discovered that Chase had a history of this. We found 2 other women on fitness forums talking about how Chase encouraged them to post romantic content with him for brand synergy while they were in relationships. One's boyfriend left her, the other almost got a divorce. We contacted them, and suddenly Chase was facing the prospect of a class action lawsuit. We rejected the $25,000 and held firm at $40,000. But the real nuclear option came from Keisha, who worked in corporate communications for a media company in Manhattan. "Marcus, I looked at this Chase Creeps content. He is promoting a supplement that isn't FDA approved and making medical claims about weight loss. So, I reported him to the FTC for false advertising. I also sent Instagram screenshots of his fake engagement schemes. Within 48 hours, Chase's Instagram account was temporarily restricted pending review, and the FTC opened an inquiry into his supplement marketing. His Transform X app launch was postponed indefinitely while his lawyers tried to do damage control. That is when Tyler pulled his masterpiece. Remember how Chase was always posting from the gym, getting swole and motivating his followers? Tyler, being in construction, had access to orange safety vests, hard hats, and work boots. He showed up at Chase's gym in full construction gear, found him mid-workout selfie, and said, loud enough for everyone to hear, "Excuse me, are you Chase Sterling? I am here for the construction project." "What construction project?" Chase asked, confused, still holding his phone up for the right angle. "The one where you build a personality instead of taking shirtless pictures all day." The entire gym went silent. Then people started cracking up. Someone in the back yelled, "Boom, roasted." Tyler walked out like nothing happened, but someone had filmed the whole thing and posted the video on TikTok. Chase never posted another gym selfie after that. This is when Bella completely lost it. She started calling Tyler, Keisha, even my coworkers, screaming that we were all conspiring against her success. She left a voicemail for my foreman claiming I was mentally unstable and shouldn't be operating heavy machinery. To top it off, Ashley, Bella's sister, doubled down on social media with a long Facebook post titled, "When Men Can't Handle Your Shine," which included a whole paragraph about people who use legal intimidation when they are threatened by female success. She was sharing articles about toxic masculinity and tagging me in posts about supporting female entrepreneurs. Karen, her mom, went so far as to call my job site directly, demanding to speak to my supervisor about my erratic behavior and harassment of a young professional woman. She also started leaving one-star reviews for the vendors who had refunded our deposits, claiming they were unprofessional and had allowed a deranged man to cancel legitimate contracts. My foreman called me, laughing his head off. "Man, your ex really thinks we give a damn about your personal drama." I told her if she calls again, we are filing a harassment complaint. Oh, and her mom called, too. Real piece of work. Demanded I fire you for emotional instability. Keisha got a voicemail. "You jealous witch. You can't stand that I am building something real while you are stuck in your boring marriage. Marcus is going to realize what he lost. You will see." Classy. Keisha forwarded it to their parents. 6 weeks after the Instagram story heard round the world, Chase settled for $35,000. His lawyer's fees probably cost him another $20,000. His account was still restricted. The FTC fined him $12,000 for supplement advertising violations, and his Transform X app never saw the light of day. Word got around the fitness influencer community that he was toxic to work with, and clients dropped him like a bad habit. The final nail in the coffin came when a former client leaked screenshots of him bragging about his romantic manipulation tactics in a private fitness influencer WhatsApp group. He was coaching multiple people on how to leverage romantic attention to drive engagement, calling it his secret sauce for going viral. The fitness community tore him apart. Bella lost her biggest client and had to move back in with her parents when she couldn't afford the rent on the Astoria apartment anymore. Word got around the influencer circles, and apparently, most potential clients had zero interest in hiring someone willing to torpedo their personal life for engagement metrics. She also got banned from 3 gyms for being disruptive. She would show up where Chase was working out, take pictures without permission, and cause a scene when the staff asked her to leave. The Tribeca gym where she did her research served her with a formal trespassing warning. Her dad, Robert, called me one last time. "Marcus, I owe you a serious apology. I have seen some of the messages. You were right all along. Don't worry about it, Robert. I also owe you an apology for Karen and Ashley. I had no idea they were harassing you at your job until your foreman called me directly. What did you do?" I sat them both down and explained exactly what Bella had done. Karen kept making excuses, saying boys will be boys and Chase must have manipulated her. Ashley insisted you were just jealous of Bella's success. So I showed them the messages. Chase telling Bella to play up the romance, and create relationship drama for engagement. Then I asked Ashley how she would feel if her husband got those kinds of messages from a client. She went quiet real fast. Karen tried to say it was still business. So I asked her how she would feel if I posted pictures of myself wrapped around other women for professional networking in the construction industry. I was smiling. I bet that changed her tune. Dead silence. Then I told them if I heard one more word about them harassing you, your friends, or your job, they could find somewhere else to live. Ashley deleted all her Facebook posts that night. For what it is worth, I think you handled this perfectly. Robert turned out to be the only sane person in that whole family. He sent me a check to cover my legal fees with a note. Sorry my daughter turned out to be an idiot. 2 months later, Tyler threw me a screw chase party. Keisha made a cake shaped like an Instagram story with upgraded crossed out and dodged a bullet written underneath. I started dating again around Christmas. I matched with Audrey, a veterinarian who thought Instagram was useful for keeping up with family and whose idea of content creation was sending me pictures of particularly cute dogs at work. She had 247 followers and posted maybe twice a month, usually of her hiking boots or a cup of coffee. Revolutionary concept. A woman who lived in the real world. I knew I had found a good one. Audrey had her life together and thought it was a little weird to photograph your dinner unless the food was truly exceptional. The contrast was stark. She would rather spend her Saturday morning hiking than staging photo shoots. At restaurants, she actually talked to me instead of photographing her plate from 12 different angles. She had zero interest in optimizing our relationship for social media engagement. We were just two people enjoying each other's company without needing to document it for strangers on the internet. 6 months later, Audrey and I had just gotten home from dinner at a nice Italian place in Astoria when all hell broke loose outside my building. From the window, we could see someone pacing on the sidewalk, gesturing wildly and talking to themselves. It was almost 9 p.m. on a Tuesday. Is that? Audrey started. Yep, that is Bella. We watched for a few minutes. She looked like she had been living out of her car, hair a mess, wearing the same sweatpants she had been in for days. She would check her phone, look up at my building, type furiously, then stumble towards the entrance. Great. She was either intoxicated or having a breakdown, possibly both. The buzzer rang 30 seconds later. Then again and again. She was mashing the buttons aggressively. Marcus, I know you are up there. We need to talk. Another long buzz. My next-door neighbor texted me. Your crazy ex is waking up my baby. Handle it. Marcus, open the damn door. I am not leaving until we talk. I looked at Audrey. Want to see a show? She was already grabbing her phone. Do I call the cops now, or wait for it to escalate? Let's see how this plays out. We went to the window. Bella was now standing directly under my third-floor apartment, yelling at the building like it owed her money. Marcus, you ruined my damn life. The least you can do is explain yourself. Mrs. Moretti from 2B opened her window. She was about 70, had lived in the building for 30 years, and had zero tolerance for drama. She was also the building's unofficial security system. Hey, crazy lady. Some of us are trying to sleep. Bella looked up. Mind your own business, old woman. Mrs. Moretti cackled, a dry laugh that echoed down the street. Honey, when you are screaming outside my building at 9 p.m., you become my business. You look like you sleep in a dumpster. I am not homeless. I am a business owner. Business owner? What is your business, making noise? Because you are very good at that. Maybe the circus is hiring. They need clowns. More windows started to open. People were coming out on their fire escapes to watch. Mr. Alvarez from 3C was filming with his phone. The college kids across the street were cheering like it was a UFC fight. That is when Bella snapped. Screw all of you. Marcus Williams is a jackass who can't handle a successful woman. Laughter erupted from multiple windows. Someone yelled, Lady, successful women do not have public meltdowns. Audrey, call the cops now, I said as she was already dialing. I opened my window. Bella, you are embarrassing yourself. She looked up, saw me, then saw Audrey standing next to me. Her face changed. Who the hell is that? That is my girlfriend. Now leave before the cops get here. Your girlfriend? She let out a hysterical laugh. That is your upgrade? She looks like a librarian. Audrey leaned out. I am a veterinarian, actually, and you need professional help. Oh, now you are an expert on what I need. Screw you. Mrs. Moretti was loving this. Sweetheart, you are the one having a tantrum on the sidewalk. She is just standing in her window. Shut up, you old bat. Make me, you garbage girl. That was the last straw. Bella started screaming incoherently, looking for something to throw at Mrs. Moretti's window. She threw her purse, which flew open midair, spilling makeup, receipts, and granola bar wrappers everywhere. The contents rained down on the sidewalk like confetti of despair. Did you just throw your purse at a building? I yelled. There are the problem-solving skills that got you here. Screw you, Marcus. I gave you the best 2 years of my life. No, you gave me a great story and a $35,000 legal settlement. So, thanks for that, by the way. I am not done with you. Yes, you are. The police are on their way, and Audrey is recording everything. Say hi. Audrey waved her phone. Hi, Bella. Say something stupid for the camera. I will sue all of you. This is harassment. The police arrived just as Bella was trying to climb the fire escape. 2 officers showed up looking like they dealt with this every night and had zero patience for the drama. Ma'am, get down from there. I am not leaving until he talks to me. Ma'am, that is trespassing. It is not trespassing. I used to live here. Do you live here now? No. Then it is trespassing. And climbing fire escapes is illegal except in an emergency. This is a damn emergency. What is the emergency, ma'am? He ruined my life. The cops looked at each other. They got her down and cuffed her while she screamed about how everyone was conspiring against successful women. An officer asked if anyone wanted to press charges for disturbing the peace and criminal mischief. You bet I do. Mrs. Moretti yelled from her window. I have to work in the morning. The whole building cheered as they put Bella in the squad car. The crowd dispersed. Mr. Alvarez yelled, Marcus, you dodged a missile, man. Wear a helmet next time. Hoping there won't be a next time. Audrey was crying with laughter. That was the most entertaining Tuesday night I have had in years. Welcome to my life. Drama finds me. As for an update, Audrey said yes when I proposed last weekend. No social media announcement planned. Some moments are too precious to share with the damn internet. Comment. Walking away from a situation that disrespects you is one of the hardest, yet most empowering things you can do. It takes immense courage to choose your well-being over the history you share with someone. In a world obsessed with public validation, remember that true connection happens in quiet moments no one posts about. You should never feel guilty for protecting your emotional and financial future. Setting firm boundaries is not an act of cruelty. It is an act of self-preservation. Real love does not ask you to compete for attention or perform for an audience. When you finally clear the chaos from your life, you create space for genuine people to enter. Trust that you deserve a partnership built on mutual respect and real life, not just appearances. Your peace of mind is worth more than any relationship status or social media approval. Stay strong, trust your intuition, and always keep your standards high. If you like the stories, don't forget to leave a comment and support the channel by subscribing. See you in the upcoming stories.